Hi there, this is Emily from Wdso, and with me right now is Kirby Lyle, and we're going to hear something off of his debut album. Kirby, why don't you tell me what song we're about to hear?
Hi, Emily. I'm thrilled to be here. We are about to hear the title track off of my upcoming album. It's my first one. It's coming out May 31st, and it's called Down in Nashville Songs from the Rounds. So this song's called Down in Nashville.
All right, here we go.
Ooh, Nashville, Nashville. Ooh. Gotta be somebody down in Nashville. Turn some heads on Music Row. Make 'em listen down in Nashville. Oh, come on in and enjoy the show. Watch my fingers move. I'll make your body groove and let my music prove that I can play. Yeah. Ooh, Nashville, Nashville. Ooh. Oh, yeah. Nashville, Nashville. Ooh. I'll meet some people down in Nashville. Find a jam and join a band. I'll write the songs to sing along to. I'll make a record and tour the land. Watch my fingers move. I'll make your booty groove and let my music prove that I can play. Yeah. Oh yeah. I can play. Watch my fingers move. Gonna make your booty groove. Gonna make my music groove that I can play. Gotta be somebody down in Nashville. On music. Nashville, Nashville. Oh, that freak show. Cha.
So, Kirby, first, can you introduce yourself to me and tell us where you're from?
Yeah, I'm living down here in Nashville, Tennessee, but I grew up in Valparaiso, Indiana, up there in the coveted region of Indiana.
Good place to be from.
I like it. I had a really good time being up there. I've got a lot of good friends up there, and even some right there at Chesterton High School.
Yes, I hear you. Do you have a friend at Chesterton High School? Who is your friend?
I sure do. One of my very, very best friends is Herr Knopf over there in the German department. And we've known each other for, oh my, about 30 years. So that ages us a little bit, but I'm so, so happy to be a part of his life and to be a part of the music scene in Nashville and in the Duneland area.
Okay, Kirby, what instruments do you play? And do you have a band, or are you more just of a solo act?
Right now, I'm a solo act. This is kind of my resume going out to everybody else that wants to potentially collaborate with me and produce me. But I'm playing all the instruments on my album. I've got acoustic guitar, banjo, and ukulele, and a whole bunch of my vocals layered over that I recorded in my home studio. It was a super fun process.
That's pretty cool. Okay, could you describe your first album's sound?
My first album sound is whatever is going to make me sound the coolest in my mind. So I wanted to be able to market myself in all of my best talents. The best thing I do is sing with passion and a little bit of goofiness. So you'll hear that. Well, you probably heard that in this first track that you heard already. But I sing passionately. I'm a classically trained tenor, and I also went to school for the cello. So I've got a lot of things going on as far as classical music training. But my sound is probably in between folk, bluegrass, and indie blues. So it's kind of a mishmash, as most
Yeah,
music is nowadays.
it is. What bands or musicians would you say you've drawn the most inspiration from?
Ooh, definitely. I've got the top two. Guster was one of my favorite bands from college era, and probably the biggest influence on my songwriting and kind of outlook on life has been John Prine. He was a man about town in Chicago and Nashville,
Mhm.
and one of the best songwriters of all time. He's just truly an inspiration to me.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to hear another track off of your debut album. Kirby, why don't you tell us what track we're about to hear?
Yeah, this was actually the debut single that came out. This was the first song that I ever recorded and released. It's called Superpower.
All right, here's Superpower.
Big gravity, the world is on fire. Who is going to save us now?
I've got a superpower in my heart, and you've got it locked away. The world doesn't need it to survive, but if you let me, I could be saved. I could bring hope one day at a time. Let a smile creep in and just settle. I'd lead a search party in the darkest night. Just be my match and I'll be your light. I've got a superpower in my heart, and you've got it locked away. The world doesn't need it to survive, but if you let me, you could be saved. I would bring love that mothers give the first time they see their children live, sharing father's knowledge too. All of this is waiting for you. Whoa, Spider-Man's got nothing on me. I've got a superpower in my heart, and you've got it locked away. The world doesn't need it to survive, but if you let me, I could be saved. Oh, if you let me, you could be saved. Oh, if you let me, we could be saved.
Kirby, how long ago did you become a musician? When did you first start learning how to play all those instruments?
I got started very early. I caught the bug, and I was very fortunate in the public school systems up there in Valparaiso that I was able to start singing in choir in about third grade, and I started playing cello when I was 8.
Mm.
So it was an early age on that, and I had fantastic music educators throughout the system. I was in choir. Yeah, I was in the Porter County Children's Choir, and we were able to tour And we actually sang in Carnegie Hall when I was in 8th grade, and that was just an inspirational experience that
Yeah.
kept me going. And I got through high school and was in the orchestra and continued singing in choir. Started playing the guitar when I was 13, so I could be a little cooler than playing the cello. But the cello is pretty cool, but the guitar is by far cooler. By the time I got to college, I picked up my father's banjo, which had been laying dormant for a few years. And I'm very proud to be honoring him whenever I play that. And then the most fun instrument that I ever learned how to play was the ukulele. That came about when my sister told me that she was going to have a child. I'm like, oh, I got to learn some kids' tunes, and the ukulele is the best way to do that.
Yeah. Where did you go to college?
I went to school at Ball State, right there in Indiana. Very, very happy to be there. I got a great education. I got to do all the extracurriculars I could and still be not too far from home.
When did you move down to Nashville?
I moved down to Nashville 2 weeks before the pandemic shut down.
Uh-oh.
It was time to follow my dreams, and the time was wrong. Everything shut down. I came down to do live music and to hear live music, and there was nothing for a year down here. And it was not great for my mental health. And I had succumbed to my addiction problems through the course of that year. And it enabled me to hit rock bottom, but then also seek help. And I was very fortunate those things occurred all at the same time while I was in Music City, because I found some counseling, I found some good meds, and I got healthy. And it's a miracle, and I'm very, very grateful to be in Nashville and be healthy and be alive.
Yeah. So we're going to hear another track off of Down in Nashville by Kirby Lyle. Kirby, what song should we listen to next?
This song is my most sensitive song, and it's a ukulele song. It's the one that I wrote when I got down here. It's the first song I wrote in Nashville during that pandemic. So it's kind of sad, but it's really moving, and I'm very, very proud of it. It's called Go Away.
Go Away. Here we go.
Go away. I don't want to see you anymore. It's not okay. I shouldn't think about you anymore. I'm so aware that you're not there, and I still see you everywhere. You're any face in every crowd. I shake my head and I cry out aloud. Oh, I know I shouldn't dream about you anymore. So I'm awake and I guess I won't sleep anymore. The taste of whiskey numbs. It teases comfort, then succumbs to the memories we never made. Oh, if I could have just stayed. Go away. I don't want to love you anymore. I don't wanna love you anymore.
Okay, that was Go Away by Kirby Lyle. And my next question for you is this album that you have made kind of like an evolution of past musical projects or kind of something new entirely?
This is most definitely an evolution project. There are some songs on this project that I wrote 10 years ago, and there are some songs that I wrote 15 years ago and completely redid. But
Okay.
the ones I'm most proud of are all of them. There are definitely some that mean more to me, but I'm real happy with how everything turned out. And half the album was written in the last year or so. So we've got a good mix and match of all of my musical influences and eras.
So your album was recently released. When did it come out?
May 31st. I'm super, super excited about it. My first single came out on May 3rd, and we were celebrating Mental Health Month in May. So I decided I was going to release a single every Friday in May to kind of raise awareness and show how proud I am that people can get things turned around.
Aha. So is it streaming anywhere?
It is streaming wherever you can find music. We're on
All right.
Spotify, Amazon Music, iTunes, Tidal, Deezer, YouTube,
Everywhere.
all of those fun things.
Yeah. And can you tell us a little bit about the process? I know you've said a little bit, but what was the process of recording your debut album?
Well, I was very fortunate to find an apartment that had an extra bedroom here in Nashville, and I built my home studio in that spare bedroom. And through my college education at Ball State with a music engineering degree, I have the skill set and I also have acquired the tools over my career to set up quite a nice little recording studio in my own home. And that allows me to save a whole bunch of money and to work at my own pace and enjoy the process as much as I possibly can.
And how long would you say that it took you to record your album?
It took me about a year of good takes and bad takes. When I got sober, I had to relearn how to play all of my instruments with muscle memory and correct brain synapses. And it was a process. So the things that I used to be able to play very, very well, I couldn't. And after quite a bit of rehearsal and soul searching and patience, everything finally came together after about a year in the process.
That's so interesting. So what would you say was the highlight of that whole process?
The whole highlight of this process was getting it out there. It was exciting to get started and do it because I love everything about music, but knowing that I'm finally arriving and fulfilling my dream as just putting music out into the world and sharing it with my friends, family, and community is really a dream come true. So whether I make it on the large scale of music or not, I feel like I've already made it.
Yeah. What are some goals that you have coming up?
Ooh, goals. I'm going on tour. So that's
awesome.
that's a goal already achieved in the making. I'm going to be up there in the Midwest all throughout June. So that is another dream come true that I've been able to set in motion through this process. I'd love to be able to collaborate with some more powerful producers and players around town in Nashville to jump on a regional or national tour with a signed act, maybe even get signed to a record label, and perform around the world, just sharing my passions with everybody that I can see and find.
Very cool. Can you think of any dates that you have up here in the region?
Yeah, I am playing Front Porch Music on Saturday, June 8th. And that is an all ages show. It's going to be a real, real fun time. I've got my friends, the Double Features, a great local band. They were also my bandmates in college and afterward for a very long time. Very, very talented individuals. I am also playing in Fort Wayne in June 15th, and that's at Sweets on Main. We're going to have an ice cream social right there in downtown Fort Wayne. We're going to play some music, and it's going to be great. That's actually the culmination of my tour. I'll be playing down in Indianapolis, a little farther away from the region, but that's on June 14th. And I'm playing up in Chicago on June 12th.
Very cool. How did you put the tour together?
Ooh, grassroots. I went together and found all of the places that I had the most friends and fans at, and I started calling venues and calling friends to see if they had any connections. And I put out easily 100 emails and phone calls to find these places that would be interested in seeing a grassroots startup artist like myself. And I wanted to find either places that I played in other incarnations of myself or super unique, small, intimate venues. That's how I ended up playing it in an ice cream parlor.
Mm,
And I'm just excited that I'm going to have friends and family to see me out at these cool places.
yeah, that's awesome. So, do you think that you learned anything important about yourself or the music business while writing and recording your album?
I learned so much about myself. I learned patience and gratitude, most of all, just to have patience with any process that I am going through, whether it be music or touring or the recording or the performing of it, and gratitude that if you have that patience, that you can accomplish those things. Um, Also, that community is everything. The people that you are building your village with are invaluable. If you go and find those people that will lift you up in a positive way and that you can also reciprocate those positive energies, it's the most fulfilling thing you can do.
Okay, that's good to know, good to know about yourself. Do you think that being from Indiana has any way influenced your songwriting style or what kind of music that you produce?
I would have to say, yeah, just being from Indiana and listen to I was born in a small town. I mean,
Can't
Camp
escape
is
that. Can't
Indiana.
escape that one if you're from Indiana.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's really, really hard to not incorporate all those classic emotions and feelings and arrangements that the Mellencamp put out there for the last 30, 40 years. And he's a great inspiration. He's a champion of the common man and equality. And those are wonderful things to take a stand for and be appreciative of Indiana.
Okay. So this doesn't have to be a direct band influence, but what have you been listening to lately and what draws you to them?
Ooh, I've been listening to a lot of indie bluegrass and music that involves positive energy and just good vibes. Most recently I've gotten into Lindsay Lou. She's an underground indie bluegrass artist. Molly Tuttle is breaking now huge. She's a Grammy-winning bluegrass artist, and um, also Maya DeVitri. She's a local artist down here in Nashville, and she's got a few albums under her belt. She's a wonderful human being and a great musician.
Okay. We're going to hear another song from Kirby Lyle right now. What should we listen to, Kirby?
This next one's gonna be my banjo tune. Since we're talking about bluegrass, it's a lovely tune called "Love as a Fisherman," hook, line, and sinker.
All right, here we go.
Down she goes, it feels good, and it's about time. I know she knows the end of my line. I see how she'll run, and that's half the fun. I got her hook, line, and sinker. I won't try to rethink her. Hook, line, and sinker. Oh, you'll never know where you go. You gotta throw your line over the side and take a chance on love. As a fisherman, some fish are too big to keep. So throw her back into the deep. start again. But you won't know when she got you hook, line, and sinker. You can't try to rethink her. Hook, line, and sinker. Oh, you'll never know where you go. You gotta throw your line over the side and take a chance on love. Sometimes you gotta wiggle it to get her to notice you. You gotta jiggle it to get her to eat you up. You gotta wiggle it and jiggle it sometimes. You wiggle it, yeah. Hook, line, and sinker. You can't try to rethink her. Hook, line, and sinker. Oh, you'll never know where you go. You gotta throw your line over the side and take a chance on love. Hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker. Oh, you'll never know where you go. You gotta throw your line over the side and take a chance on love. As a fisherman, love as a fisherman. You gotta wiggle it sometimes and jiggle it.
My next question is there anyone who you would say has been extremely supportive of your musical career or impactful during your formative years when you were first learning music?
Ooh, there's a couple people, more than a couple. There's a lot of people. I've been very fortunate to have people influencing me in a positive way. My mother, for sure, just making sure that I had all the love and affection and the tools that I needed to be a musician and encouraged me singing and playing instruments throughout my life. And the music educators that I had throughout life. Marilyn Brockup was in the Doolin school system years ago. She's passed now, but she was in charge of the choirs for years over there in Chesterton. And she was in the Porter County Children's Choir. She ran that while I was a member. She taught a lot about general musicality and passion for music. Tim Cup, my orchestra teacher, and Linda Schoenbachler, my choir teacher, both at Valparaiso High School, were just immense influences on how to be a good human and how to emote and how to leave passion on stage and with the audience.
Okay. So I have a little bit of a change up in questioning, but if you could form your perfect 5-piece band with you and 4 other musicians from throughout history, who would you choose and why?
Ooh, that's a good question, Emily. Thank you for asking it because I get to think about my favorite things. The first person that would have to be, I would have to have a violin / keyboard / utility guy, and he would be Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. That dude was a monster. He could play any instrument, and he was just a thrill. Might have been a little crazy, but most good artists are.
True.
So he would be my violinist or keyboardist. For a guitar player, you got to throw out Eddie Van Halen because he could play acoustic and just wail on the electric. Maybe a tie with Billy Strings and Molly Tuttle there because those are 2 outstanding bluegrass and acoustic guitar style players. For a bass player, probably Victor Wooten, because he understands how to play crazy jazz and how to play simple and powerful. I think I've got one more. My background vocalist, Janis Joplin. All soul, super fun.
Those are pretty good picks, very eclectic. Okay, so that about wraps things up for this interview. But before we do, tell us one more what your album is called and where they can listen to it, and then maybe tell us again where we'll be playing locally.
Sure. My album, Down in Nashville, Songs from the Rounds, is my debut album, and I'm real proud of it. It is streaming on Spotify, Amazon, iTunes, and everywhere else you can find music. I'm going to be playing up there in the region at Front Porch Music on Saturday, June 8th, and in Fort Wayne on Saturday, June 15th. I'm Kirby Lyle, and I'm so happy to have been here today.
All right, we're going to hear one more song off of your album. Can you tell us before we sign off?
Yeah, this song is called With You, and I am just happy to be with you and to share all those positive vibes. And yeah, have a great summer, everybody.
All right, and then after that, we're going to be listening to one more song, right? We're going to be hearing Get Help, so stay tuned for that as well.
Will I miss you more than I'll miss you by then? Will I see you anymore? I can't ignore these questions anymore. Afraid to let you go. Final moments passing through, have no place left to go. Oh, I don't know. I don't regret a single moment of our time, even though it may be through. But when I'm gone, remember in your heart that I will be with you. Oh, I will be with you. Don't regret a single moment of our time, even though it may be through. But when I'm gone, just remember in your heart that I will be with you. Oh, I will be with you. And as we say goodbye tonight, please don't cry. Everything will be alright. Just close your eyes and I will be with you. Oh, I will be with you. Oh, I will be with you, with you, with you. Oh, I will be with you.
All right. Thank you, Kirby.
Emily, thank you so much. You mind if I get a picture to put on the internet? Because
Oh,
this is my
sure.
first radio interview of all time.
Absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you so much for this
Yeah.
opportunity. I had a really, really good time, and have a great rest of the school year.
I began as a whisper and slowly built up to a yell. I cling to your insides as you sing to the outside and sell. Everything is gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be just fine. Just It's painful and lonely, but you won't show me to the world. I'd leave you if only you could know what you're worth. Everything is gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be alright. Everything is gonna be okay. Everything is gonna be just fine. No, it won't, you stupid shits. Depression's got you in its grips. Only disappointment turns. Your happiness is being burned. Go get help. Go get help. The threat is real, but you won't tell, and no one sees that you're in